All right, it is now time for the Week 9 Fantasy Show. We have some things to discuss to start out
Oh
with
yeah,
last week's
hell yeah, we
matchups.
do.
We did not have a show last week, so if there's anything else that needs to be commented from the past 2 weeks, go ahead once it's your turn. But we will start with the trades that were made. There was how many trades? There was one trade made yesterday, and then one that was
And
canceled
one
today.
trade made tonight
Canceled
and
on
canceled.
5 approves. Yikes. Anyways, so the trade made or on Monday actually, which got approved this morning. Zombie traded away his boy Deontay Harris, Damian Harris, and Ramon Stevenson to Pussy, who obviously had the devastating Derrick Henry injury this past weekend, so he needed some running backs,
Trade.
and he trades Jamar Chase, Randy Bullock, a kicker, and Ronald Jones. So interesting trade. I happen to like this trade for Pussy, as he gets Deontay Johnson back, which isn't that big of a downgrade from Jamar Chase, I think, over the course of the rest of the year. And he gets a running back that's a serviceable one to use to try to fill some of the void of Henry. I mean, he still has Chubb, so basically an RB2 is what he gets, and that's what he needed. Pussy, your comments on this deal?
My comments are short but simple. I got
Yes,
2%, and I called it a day.
2%, and you call it a day. Okay, what does that mean exactly?
According to my numbers, I
Oh
gained
God.
2%.
Okay.
Feed him with the
Your
robot.
numbers that
Feed
you
him with the
pay
robot.
for, that was that was kind of
Jesus
exposed this
Christ! I
past
mean,
week in the group chat that you didn't reply
but
back
I
to.
don't
That you
find
said you don't pay
that
for them, but it was exposed that you actually do pay for them. Any thoughts on that?
I don't pay for the trade evaluator. The trade evaluator is free.
Okay.
I pay for the rankings.
Oh, okay. So you
Didn't
do
help you
pay
last
for
week
the
though, did it?
rankings.
Hey.
Ooh. Okay, all right. And so basically, what I'm hearing is you can't run the team on your own. You have to pay for somebody to help you
Yes,
do it.
That's not
that's
true
exactly right.
because this is the first
Right.
year. This
Okay.
is the first year that I've used it.
Well,
I
yeah,
will.
I would have
I
used
will
it
say
this year
that.
too if I didn't make the playoff in both leagues last year. I mean,
I mean,
I
and
might need a little
also I
help.
just want the audience to know that my major is data analytics, so I rely
Oh,
heavily on
uh,
statistics and
that
data
that people
Why
give
don't
in
you.
you?
order to make
Why don't you
Wait, did
decisions.
use?
you
Why
actually
don't
did
you
you get your
use?
degree?
Why don't you use your own
I'm in the
statistic
middle of the
rather than
degree.
other people's?
Wait, you don't get your degree yet? It's taking so long.
Why don't you use your
Lol,
own
cheese.
Slats, I'm a
statistics?
senior.
Cheese is this is good.
Own
Cheese is ripping you
statistics.
on your degrees and going
I'm a
places in
senior
life
slats.
as he's delivering freaking
I
Best
thought you were
Buy
older than me.
electronics. Hell of a job.
No,
Okay.
I'm
Anyways, and
all.
on to Zombie, your thoughts on your trade. I don't know if anybody else thinks that you got the worst end besides me. I don't really remember what people think, but
Yeah, you're the
you're
only one.
I'm the only one. Okay, well then that's pretty good for you then if everyone else thinks you got the good end. But your thoughts on this trade?
I mean, I got who I wanted, and then the next day, fucking Pusa trying to trade with fucking trying to get me to trade with Pook just because he doesn't want to accept his fucking offer for Kelsey.
Oh. Oh. Okay,
You
so
hate to see it.
Yeah,
you
I've
were
had
trying to be
Kelsey.
the
I've had
middleman.
Kelsey
Yeah,
offer to me as well.
Kelsey has been on the block a lot these past couple days.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
wish we
he's
could get
I have
wish we
had.
could get Pook's thoughts
guaranteed
on
it.
this, but yeah, he sent me an offer with Kelsey involved too. It was not very good, but it was expected coming from Pook.
Ditto.
It was I pretty much expected that type of shit offer from Pook, but I countered and he quoted saying, "I like the FFF's offer better." So I assumed he was going to go with the FFF's offer, but then,
I
that
didn't
never
really have an
happens.
offer.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, interesting. Shocker. All right. Well, anyways, on to the other trade that actually did get accepted, but then canceled. Yeah. So Bill and Cheese had a deal. Cheese was going to send Bill, Kadarius Toney, Deontay Booker, and Saquon Barkley, all those Giants, to Bill, and Bill was going to trade Cheese, Josh Jacobs, injured George Kittle, and Melvin, soon to be irrelevant Gordon. Yeah, so it went all the way to a 5-3 vote, and then Cheese pulled the plug right at 5-3. Cheese, your thoughts on why you thought this trade was good, and then your thoughts on why all of a sudden at 5-3 you no longer thought it was good.
Well, you know, I've been pulling the same lineup out for 6 weeks. It's not been
You
going
know,
well.
Pusa, convinced me to not take the trade.
No,
and-
Oh,
dude,
you
So
no,
then
did?
why'd you
Go
cancel
finish
it?
your homework.
You wanted a new lineup.
Yeah, so why did you cancel it then if you
I was
wanted to
about
make
to
It's
prove
changes?
just
it,
that
you
Kittle.
dumb
It's like
fuck.
it's just like Kittle does nothing for me.
Okay.
That's it.
I was
Kittle,
literally
no one
looking
else.
at the chat and you said cancel. I was literally about to prove.
Mm.
Well, it's just
Man,
Kittle,
that
like,
was
it's just
that might have
like-
been the closest we've ever come to a trade right before it gets canceled. No wonder Bill is not joining the show tonight. No wonder.
This close,
just-
Bill.
No
this
wonder.
close
We
to
were this
$1,000.
close to
Said-
getting a special appearance from Bill, and then you had to go and fuck it up, Cheese.
All right,
Great job.
Let's move on to the
Great
my
job.
loss
You know,
recap.
you should have
Sorry,
before you
Henry.
hit
Before
before you hit accept on a trade like this, Cheese, you need to hit up your boy Fake Rat because apparently you've been doing that this year. So you should have did it with this one because this was
Fake
fucking
rat.
dreadful. This
Okay,
was
all right, let's
fucking
move on to my
dreadful.
annual loss
Yeah,
on the show recap.
Okay. All right. Well,
Jesus
real quick,
Christ.
looking at the budgets for this past week as some money was spent. Hunter, the AFK man himself, goes out and splashes $35 on Boston Scott, who had a big week this past week. I don't know if he'll have
Wait,
a big
who?
week the rest of the year, but
Wait,
he
why?
did have a big week this past week because he had a big week. So,
But
and
Gainwell.
Miles Sanders, yeah, Gainwell was MIA this past week. Ask Tyler.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
I got
when
all
Scott is
worried. I
MIA
got
this
all
week?
worried when they put Miles Sanders on the IR, thinking Gainwell was going to be the lead workhorse, and then all of a sudden it was a Jordan Howard, Boston Scott back and forth day for all the touchdowns, and I was fucking jumping for joy. But then Bill adds Taysom Hill, the killer of Camaro last year, for $19. He needs a quarterback this week, and apparently he thinks that Taysom Hill is the answer for $19.
He has him on BJ's too.
Yeah, he picked him on BJ's as well. Bill does a lot of the same pickups in both leagues, I've noticed the whole year. Whatever he picks up in this league, he picks up in BJ's as well. Half the time it doesn't work out, and half the time he drops players that he could actually use for other trades, like a couple other wide receivers that he's dropped this year that then got picked up and used in trades. But anyways, Pook picks up Brian Edwards for $18. That one's not bad, as now that Henry Ruggs killed a couple people and is in jail. Brian
Jesus Christ.
Edwards
It
is
was one person
probably
and a
gonna
dog.
pick up. Oh, wow! So dogs aren't people too, Cheese? Wow, that's
Wow,
very
that's
insensitive
terrible.
of you to say
Yeah,
that.
okay.
That is
That
terrible.
is terrible. Wow. But as you see here, a lot of suitors for Boston Scott. $15 for Bill, $15 for Slaps, but they're $20 too short. I also put one in for 11. Let's see. Yeah, other than that, some smaller other players, nothing too crazy. Zombie. I was interested in some of Zombie's moves. He picked up the free agent Deshaun Jackson. So I'm assuming you think he's going to be going somewhere to some
Yeah, he
team.
he got released today.
Yeah. So
So
you picked him up. You put in the claim yesterday for him for $0.
No, I picked him up because I know a team's gonna look for him for a sign.
Okay, gotcha.
Wait, Zombie? How does Zombie? Zombie want to try to add like 6 people?
Well, yeah, he's got $0. He's just try and shoot for people that he knows nobody else is gonna, or hopes nobody else will put money on. But yeah, so interesting. Let's see here as we look at the
Not
money.
even talking about my pickup for Pat Frymouth.
we don't
No,
care.
we don't care about
Fuck
bums.
that. We don't care about your shit
So let's
team.
see. So who has the most money now that Hunter has splashed some cash? That would be Matt with
Matt.
$93.
And
Then we
Tyler.
have Tyler with 85. Hunter.
Me?
Oh yeah, you.
Oh, no, Hunter.
No,
than me.
Hunter with 64. You with 59, and we still only have 3 people with 0. Zach, Ernie, and Zombie. So, but yeah, some
I think
money
we-
being spent. So that's good to see.
We missed the. I think they missed the window to spend that money.
Oh, really?
Wisely.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
I think that window passed about 3 or 4 weeks.
I mean, the free agent market is very dry at this point of the year, but there is
I mean,
there
for
are always
example,
there's
Taysom Hill
listen,
for 18
okay,
fucking
well
dollars?
that's too much in my opinion, but I mean, I think it's still valuable to have money because you don't have to splash $20 or $30 on a player because at this stage of the game there isn't players on the market that are worth that. But to have like $9 or $8 on a player that maybe could turn out to be something at this point in the year, maybe is good to have in your back pocket. But I don't know. The waiver wire is very dry at this stage, like it always is every year. But Anyways, all right, moving on to last week's
jeez.
matchups.
This is
We will
painful.
start with one that was an absolute shit show from Tyler's standpoint, as I pick up a much needed and easy win this victory, 120 to 66.36. Ooh. As for a while there, it was looking like Tyler might break my record and take it from me for the lowest points ever scored at 58. Unfortunately, Brandon Cooks got some garbage time touchdown and points to save him from having the chance of the lowest points ever. But really, this all went downhill from Tyler from the start on Thursday night when Kyler Murray only got 9 points against Green Bay on that Thursday night game. At that point, it was looking very good for me. He also had injuries as well, as Robinson got hurt mid-game. Robbie Anderson got hurt and left a goose egg. Then as Miles Sanders went on IR before the game started, so that, I mean, a lot of tough breaks for Tyler. Obviously, the team he had to roster was not very good, and it showed in the points. But big victory. I needed a much needed win after losing 2 straight to put me back to 5-3. Keeps me out of that 4-4 bottom of the playoff standing leaderboard. Hopefully get some players back this week. Maybe McCaffrey, maybe Allaire. We'll see what happens with them, but got to keep stacking the wins to assure myself the playoff spot. Moving on to the next matchup, this was a good one. We had Hunter versus Pook, and Hunter once again just keeps rolling along the W's, as this one was very close at one point. It came down to Monday night between Hill and Kelsey, as Pook had about a 3-point lead with Kelsey, and Hunter had Hill, and Kelsey just absolutely laid a dud for Pook and cost him this game with 4.7. Looked disinterested on the field, dropped or fumbled a pass. Yeah, Mahomes wasn't going to him.
He wouldn't need another 20 points.
Well, yeah, because Hill went off, but Kelsey could easily get 20 if he is his normal self.
He would have needed 20, 24.
Yeah, he would have needed 24, but I mean, Kelsey, how many times has he gotten that this year? Let's see. Well, he got 25 first week, 20, basically
Literally
24. Once. So, yeah, once or twice. But, I mean, it was still piling. I mean, nobody knew Hill would get 27. It was just a Hill day where Mahomes was just chucking it up to Hill all night long. And to Pook's demise, it gets Hunter a big win, puts him at 7-1. Basically, I mean, Hunter's almost there to a lock for a playoff spot. I mean, he would have to go on an absolute downhill spiral to not make the playoffs at this
it starts
point.
next week.
It's crazy, huh?
Starts this week.
Oh, it starts his down. You're predicting his downhill to start this upcoming week, huh?
I do not predict he's downhill, but he will get a loss.
Oh,
just
okay.
for
We'll
the
save
audience
that
out
for
there.
the. Yeah, we'll save that for that. Okay, well, Hunter's looking very good. His team's looking very good. I mean, when you can have to take out your quarterback number 1 because of an injury and I'm not playing, and put in a backup and still score 138 points because Burrow did just as good. I mean, it's pretty good for Hunter. It shows he has some depth on his team. So, and he was paying attention to make that switch, as I was getting DMs from Pook that morning wanting to know if he kept Dak in there and then Dak didn't play that night, if he had to switch him or how that would all work. So, and Pook picked up Cooper Rush because he assumed Hunter wouldn't switch him. So GG's to Hunter. He paid attention on Sunday, and it got him the win. All right, moving on to the next matchup. We had Zombie versus Cheese, and the depression season now for Cheese.
You like my animated
I
picture?
do like that. I don't know how you got that, but that's very nice. But Zombie picks up a big win, 129 to 106, moves Zombie to 5-3 as well.
I
So
can't see
he's
the
looking
picture
very
on my
good.
phone.
He's looking very good.
It only works on desktop.
Yeah, it's so very good for Zombie. Good win for him. His team pretty much performed except his running backs. Both his running backs did not do very well, but his wide receivers picked up the slack. A.J. Brown with a huge game, 31. And on Cheese's side, he scored over 100, but not enough. You gotta get in that 120 range usually to have a chance to win, especially when you're facing a player like Zombie's team.
Get fucked.
Mahomes only 14 points, disappointing. He looks, I don't know, Mahomes just does not look right. He looks not confident. He's making mistakes.
I wonder
It's
why.
Not good. Yeah, we all wonder.
Someone's got to put
wonder
Jackson
why.
in North Korea.
Okay. But yeah, DJ Moore has not been the same. Cheese missed his window to trade on the hype of DJ Moore, as he had those huge games at the start of the year with 30, 20, 21. He could have got a boatload for him at that point. And ever since then, Sam Darnold has gone downhill, and it has not worked.
Yeah.
Cheese, any comments on your, what is that now, 6th straight loss as you started 2-0 at the top?
My
Yeah.
points for has climbed above Tyler.
Oh,
That's cool.
Okay. Well,
And
I mean, did you see
obviously-
Tyler this week? He scored 66
know.
points. I don't
Feels
think.
good.
Tyler's an embarrassment this week.
I
Oh
will
my
say that my running backs have been solid. I like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And Saquon will just replace Booker. And
Yeah.
TJ Hawk's been good. Everyone else has been
Okay.
atrocious.
Okay. Well, unfortunately,
Well,
in a PPR league, you need wide receivers as much as running backs. And
Say it with
Look,
me,
it's,
Cheese.
it's,
how it
I think
goes.
if they got about, like, at this point, I
PPR.
think I'm just kind of stuck with it. With these players, I'm not going to get fair returns. I just got to, hopefully they bounce back.
Okay. Well, that I mean, I would disagree with that slightly. I mean, you could make a
I
trade
also only got
for
5
you could
points for my
trade
special teams.
you could trade Aaron
That would help.
Jones or Hawkinson maybe to somebody. I mean, there's some deals you could make if you actually wanted to make them. But I do agree, your wide receivers right now, their stocks are all very low, as we've seen today when you try and Saquon's stock is very low, as we saw today when you
Although
almost traded
Crowder,
Tony and Saquon.
Mike White is apparently that guy. So.
Yeah. Well, he had
Mike
16,
White.
so we'll see what happens with that. But
It's better than Zach Wilson.
Zombie, you pick up a big win to keep you above that 4-4 mediocre pack. Any comments on your victory this past week?
Listen, after what we just found out a few hours ago, Cheese had no shot yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday, his team name was Hero Tony. That's
Yeah, it's gone.
embarrassing.
It's gone.
That's
That
embarrassing.
was.
Yeah, wait, look
He
who's
did
on-
have
who's on
hope.
Zombie's bench.
That
Who's
is
on Zombie's
true. He
bench?
did have hope. Cheese did have hope going into Monday night with 3 players
Yeah,
thinking
and
he could get.
everyone
And
has hope
as Ernie correctly predicted, Cheese had as much hope of winning against Zombie as I have hope of me getting
Yeah,
the
but look at
vaccine.
Zombie's
So
bench.
that was true.
Look who's on Zombie's bench.
Okay, we look at Zombie's
Look
bench.
under
Whoa,
Madison.
whoa.
Whoa, look under
Madison,
Madison. Whoa.
okay.
Henry Ruggs the third.
Oh,
Yikes.
yeah. Did you get rid of him yet, Zombie?
No, I'm gonna change my team name to Hero Rugs. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
like
Wow.
I like violent claim to commit for
Wow.
Rugs' team name.
Oh my God. Do you play Pook again this year? Because if you do, you should be Hero Brown versus Hero Ruggs. That would be
Jeez.
great. Oh my God. All right. Well,
No,
moving
it'd be
on.
Hero Brown versus Hero Brown.
Yeah, moving on to the next matchup. And this was the shocker of the week, the biggest result of the week, as we have Slaps scoring over 100 points, just barely, only 106, but it's good enough to pick up his first victory on the season now.
First and only.
1-7 against Pussy of all people, who was talking so
Yikes.
much shit before the week. Said Slaps' team was the worst in the league, said it would never get wins, and it beats
Yikes.
Pussy. As Pussy only scores 101 points, now falls to 4-4. This was a big defeat for Pussy, as a win against Slaps' 0-7 team would have moved him to 5-3, kept him ahead of that middle pack. But he doesn't get it, as Chubb has a bad performance. Henry gets hurt and is now out probably for the rest of the season. Kirk Cousins didn't do that great on Sunday night, as he got outplayed by Cooper Rush. Hopkins, once again, another shaky game, as he's so inconsistent. Trades away Chase. I mean, all in all, just a bunch of players did not perform for Pussy's team. And Slaps, got some big performances, was talking a lot of shit, declared this game over with midday on Sunday, which is always dangerous to do, as it almost came back to bite him in the ass, as it was a
Knew it was gonna
sweater,
happen.
as he needed
Knew it was
Sterling
gonna
Shepard to get a few catches on Monday night to secure it, because it almost came back to bite him in the ass.
Never in doubt.
Never in doubt, huh?
Never
All
in
right.
doubt.
Well, your thoughts, Slaps. You finally get a 1 in that win column. Congratulations. Can you maybe stack back-to-back wins?
This isn't just going to be a stack of back-to-back wins.
Oh, okay.
I am going
Don't
on
say
a
it.
4-win streak from here.
4-game win streak. So you're going to be 5-7, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go on a 6-game win streak
Would it
and be
both options?
7-7? Because that's probably what you need
well,
to make the playoffs.
If so,
Either that or
if my
maybe
players,
6
if my players stay healthy, then I've got a
Okay.
chance.
Okay.
What I would say, now everyone slates my team, right? Everyone's talked shit about my team for a while.
Mhm.
But the fact of the matter is that there's so many
The fact
inconsistent
is
wide
1-6.
receivers in this league. There's so many.
Easy record.
No, I
Yes.
agree, and we've talked about this before. We've spoke about the fact that I had a really shit team to start off the year, and it,
Yes.
I
I
had
do
to
think
change it.
this team is the best team so far out of all the weeks of you trading. I
And
think
it's
it's the
still
best that you
bad.
had.
100%. I've
but
had this team for 3 weeks now.
But it still scored 106 points.
yeah,
That's
I
not
mean,
too
at the
far
end of
off.
the day, it still didn't do that great, to be honest.
This is
But
my worst week in
the
4
problem,
weeks, though.
here's the problem with your team. Your team has some decent players on it. The question is,
We hurry along
are
here.
you going to start the right ones? That's the question. Because I mean, like Devontae Parker had a great game, way better than Emmanuel Sanders, who only had 0.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you got Shepard in there with his injury concerns. I mean, do you start Slayton when Chris Carson comes back? Then who are you starting 3 running back? Like, it's going to matter on if you start the right guys. But I mean, you could stack some wins. I could see with this team possibly getting some wins. I don't know about 6 straight to get you to 7 and 7.
But the thing is, right? The thing is, people aren't taking into consideration, right? Wide
yes.
receivers have been inconsistent. There's players that have went out and dropped low point games. There's players that haven't.
Oh yeah,
You
of
look at
course.
you look at Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is currently ranked number 3 on the wide receivers. Had 13 points this week.
Yeah.
Now, Jamar Chase, if you look at his stats, has went like so. This game 13, the week before 30, the week before that 13.
Yeah.
If you actually look, Jamar Chase has had 4 13-point weeks.
Yeah.
But it's been consecutive, like within.
The only thing I'll say with that though is Jamar Chase is such a good fantasy wide receiver that his floor is 13 points. When your floor, your bottom of the barrel is 13
Oh yeah,
points,
100%.
that's still pretty decent. I mean, you can get away with your wide
100%.
receiver getting you 13 points. You can't get away most of the time with Emmanuel Sanders getting you 0. Or
Yeah, I
Sterling
understand that,
Shepard getting
but-
you 6. If that's the only thing with your wide receivers is they have floors and then they have ceilings. Their ceilings are pretty good, but their floors are like not
But
even
if you
13
look at the floor
points.
for Cooper Kupp here, this
Well,
is what
yeah,
I'm saying.
he's
So
the exception to what we're
exactly.
talking about.
So
He's
if I can
booming
get
every
into,
week.
if I
mean,
can get into a groove, if I can get into a groove of figuring out, so if Devontae Parker, for example, stays fit,
Yep,
then
that's big
you
for
know
you.
Devontae Parker could be huge for
He's
me.
looked good.
So I love my running backs. I think
Okay.
Cordell Patterson's can only go and do more now that Calvin
Yeah,
Ridley's
I will
retired.
give you credit for that. That trade you made with Zombie for Patterson, I wasn't sure about it at first, but I was wrong with that. He has continued to be a PPR fantasy beast, even after the trade. He's still done very well, and I did not
And
think he would.
then Daryl Henderson has come out to be a very, very viable
Yes.
top running back. You
Mm.
know, I think in terms of my core team here, I've
Yep.
got one of the best core teams in the league,
Okay.
and I don't
Wow.
think anybody can deny that now.
Okay. Well, I'm sure some people will deny that, but let's see. Pussy.
106 points.
Okay. Pussy, on your end, what happened? You talked all this shit about Slaps' team, and then you give him his first win. What on earth? Now you're 4-4, and you got Henry injured as well. What's going on?
Okay. When you think of just pure embarrassment,
Yes.
you think of like many different things.
Okay.
You
Like
know,
like the night Ashley joined Zach's segment and absolutely roasted you, like that kind of embarrassment.
I would say yeah, that could be embarrassing. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give any more examples.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
you know
we-
what
Yeah,
embarrassment
you
is.
have a lot of those.
This tops the list.
Oh, really?
my opinion.
Wow. Okay.
Losing to a guy
Uh-huh.
that, in my
That's
opinion,
Scottish.
that has zero, and I mean zero, knowledge of how to run a fantasy team.
Okay.
It's
At
just
least he doesn't use
pure
an app.
embarrassment.
That is true. That is true. At least he doesn't pay for numbers.
Hold on, I'll give you,
Hold on,
I'll
Zach.
give you- I'll give you
Wasn't
Adrian
it you
Peterson.
that asked for my numbers for my trade
Oh,
yesterday?
oh,
You're
Zach,
like, oh,
your response?
let me see the numbers.
Yeah, because that was a trade that you offered me for yourself, and I want to know if I was getting handled by you.
Well, wouldn't he say
You know
no
what? I
even if he
was.
was? Like, why would you trust him?
I mean, do you ask Tyler what his numbers are when he trades you?
Nope.
So what's the difference?
I don't think
What's the
Zach wants to know
fucking
Tyler's
difference?
numbers because Tyler's numbers have not looked good recently. So,
Tyler's numbers
are
are a lot of money.
yeah.
Bell's
Okay.
numbers.
Yeah, Tyler's numbers are about 5K old at this point for me and Zach. So, all right. Well, Pussy, 4-4 now with Henry's injury. I know you made a deal, so that might help you. You still feeling confident about your team? Because a few weeks ago, oh God.
His numbers are 5K.
I mean, they kind of are at this point.
Listen, the bets are working now, right? Without
I mean, they would have worked a lot better today if Kimpembe wasn't a fucking dumbass. But I will say I haven't enjoyed my past week of betting a lot more than when we were on the 5K.
Who you gonna give me for AP?
Oh,
Do you
Oh.
mean Adrian Peterson?
he means
Yeah,
Adrian
the new
Peterson.
workhorse in Tennessee.
Adrian Shitson.
Wow.
I'll give you Frank Gore for him.
Oh. Well.
Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs.
All right.
score.
Well, we'll see, Pussy. You know, you made that trade, so a few weeks ago you were really, really liking your team.
You
What is the panic meter at right now for your team now that you're
It's
4-4?
at high. It's pretty high. I'm gonna
Pretty
be
high.
honest,
Wow. Okay.
I think I need to get to the weekend to see how my team,
Okay.
plays this weekend in order
Yeah.
to evaluate. Because if I lose to
Okay.
Hunter,
Ooh.
it's just a fucking fire sale.
Ooh, imagine losing to Slaps and then Hunter in back-to-back weeks.
Dude,
that
that's
gun
like
might be
panic
pointed
meter.
at the head. Oh.
I
Who
might
has
need
the,
to be on watch.
Wow.
Who has the
All
other
right,
Gore?
well, we have the number for you. What?
Derek Gore?
Who has the other Gore?
Derek Gore? I picked Derek
Terrence?
Gore up today. But
Oh,
he's
good
about to
pickup.
be dropped here soon as Clyde Edwards-Helaire comes back. 'Cause
Who's send
he's
me
gonna be
something
back.
good for Adrian B's kids Peterson.
Hold on. Cheese, I'm not gonna send you an offer because you literally have a Matt fanboy sort of relationship with fucking Aaron
Oh.
Jones. It's almost
Ooh.
like Matt and Ronaldo.
You
and
offered
Matt
me
and
Chubb
Oh,
and
Oh.
oh
Keenan.
my God.
Chubb and Keenan for more than Aaron Jones.
For who? Aaron
For
Jones?
more
Oh.
than Aaron Jones.
Who's the wide receiver?
DJ
Chubb
Moore.
and
Oh,
Keenan
DJ
now
Moore.
for-
I mean, I don't think that's horrible. I mean,
I'd rather
that's,
have
We've
Aaron
seen
Jones
worse.
though than
yeah,
Chubb.
we've definitely seen a lot worse. That's for sure.
We've seen
The
worse
offer
than
I
you
got
tonight.
from Pook today was definitely worse than that. That's for sure.
Yeah, Pook's trying to
You know
trade
what?
me.
Hey,
Just give me
Cheese,
Kelsey.
Cheese, I will give you props here. You didn't just go say go fuck yourself like somebody else did this morning.
Oh.
You
Who was
actually,
that?
you
Who
know,
was that?
you were
I don't
gave
say
it
that when
an
people offer
in-depth
me
response.
trades. I just say
Who
no
is
thank
that?
you and I leave.
Because
Shut
it
the
wasn't me,
fuck
that's
up.
for sure.
I just
The
say no
fucking
thank
pet
you.
I
and then
countered.
The pussycat owner himself.
Oh,
Who the
okay.
fuck is that?
All right, well,
Jesus
moving on
Christ.
to the Pussycat Owners matchup of last week, we have Matt, and that was for you, Dad, taking down his so-called friend, and Zach, new friend, and he goes out and wins one for his
Oh
dad, his
my
laid-to-rest
God.
dad. Wow, that is a tribute right
All
there.
time to Dave.
Tribute. That is top tier. That is definitely top tier. As he
Zach,
goes
just leave the
out,
party. Zach, just leave the party.
goes out and
You're done.
takes.
I could change my name to the same thing. I beat him at BJ's.
Oh, ooh, maybe you should.
No, that's a
But
cheap movie.
anyways,
No one
the
cares.
closest matchup of the week, it came down to Monday night, and it was so close, 131.92 to 130.28. Matt gets a big win as these were battle of 3 and 4 teams, so it was a huge matchup for both of them. Matt gets it, moves to 4 and 4, right in the mix. Zach
he
a
beat him with
little
Teddy
bit behind.
Bridgewater.
He did. Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy 2 gloves, only 12 points. Didn't do that great, but it was enough.
Zach's just a
It-
fucking embarrassment.
Oh my God.
Daniel Jones.
Austin Eckler had a great game. Mike Evans did average, but Michael Pittman popped off for 30 huge points. He has been looking great. Amari Cooper as well did very good with Cooper Rush, surprisingly. Overall, Matt had a lot of boom players and a lot of kind of low-end bust players, but it was good enough for 131 points. On Zach's side, I mean, it starts and ends with Danny Dimes, who a lot of people have been telling him
Danny
is not a
Penny.
No,
good
it's
quarterback.
Danny Dimes
And
is
he-
fine. Look at Terry.
No,
6
Danny.
points.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin definitely let him down. But
Scary
this is
Terry.
why I say it starts and ends with Danny Dimes, because Danny Dimes
Danny
got
Pennies.
him, was in the game, got him what he only needed 11 points between Danny Dimes and Graham Gano, and then on the final drives of the game needed like 20 yards and couldn't do it, and took a horrible sack on second down to just kill whatever chance that drive had of
Danny
being
Pennies.
successful.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yes, and just ruined Zach's whole week. And I mean, as Matt said, that was for
Fucking
Matt's
right.
dad right there. That win.
Great shit.
Matt,
Good shit, man.
any comments
fuck up,
on Danny Dimes? Any comments on Scary Terry letting you down? Any comments on
You
losing
know,
for Matt in honor of Matt's dad?
Obviously not the result I wanted, but you know what? I'm right where I want to be in the standings.
Oh, really?
In
Okay.
in the hunt.
You wanted
That's all I can ask
in
for.
the hunt. Okay. Well, if only you
You're
had a
just a
man like.
shitty person, Zach. Just up to the top to the bottom.
Oh
Just
my. I
terrible.
mean, if only you
I
had
do
Michael
remember you
Thomas
saying
to
some
come in and save
things.
you right where you're
Is
at.
Michael
But
Thomas still on this bench?
yes, and I'm assuming he
Why?
will.
It's a
God,
waste.
He
God
will
is
be.
It's a
with Michael
waste.
Thomas, and he's with my team.
Okay.
It's a
Oh
waste
my!
of a bench spot.
Zach, any comment to Pussy calling you an absolutely horrible person?
Pusa, you've said worse things than I have.
Ooh.
I disagree.
I mean, I will say Pussy has definitely shit on Matt a lot, or tried to shit on Matt a lot more lately than Zach has. I would
Oh.
say that. Zach and Matt
Oh,
have
would
found
you? Would you fucking
this
say
new
that?
friendship. They've found this new friendship that I
Wow.
thought was very, very solid. And then Matt went and changed his name to that, which was absolutely great. I can't get over that name.
Just
That's
a
the best
shitty
name.
person.
Okay.
Zach is just a
I
shitty
mean, is
person.
Scary
Move on.
Terry on the
Move on.
block
This is
after
just
this,
Pusa,
Zach?
disgusting.
you are an
This is disgusting.
FFF.
Can we skip to the next game? This is
All
No,
right,
Scary
moving on to
Terry
the
is not on the
final
block. I
matchup
will
of the
be
week.
seeing
Oh,
him
okay.
live in person to be pooped.
Oh, okay.
Week
Ooh, to
11
be
or 12, whatever week
okay.
that is.
All right. Well, moving on to the final matchup of the week. We thought this was going to be a good
It's a
one.
Monday night, by the
We
way.
thought Ernie was going to
He'll be
beat
hurt by
Bill
then.
like he was talking shit on all
Wow.
week, and then Bill just absolutely took him to the woodshed, 125 to 69 points. So Ernie last week with his bye week team that he's assembled together with his hurt finger, put up 130 points against me, and then he gets players back. His team's looking all right, and then it gets 69 points with his starters. Maybe he should just go back to the bye week team or hurt his finger again. I don't know. But Bill picks up a big victory, moves to 6-2 on the year, looking very solid, looking very good for a playoff spot. It'd take a major collapse for him to not make the playoffs at this stage. Ernie, on the other hand, tough loss for him, as a lot of momentum was on his side after that win last week against Week, and now he falls back to 4-4 in that pack. So we'll see how Ernie responds. He started P. Ryan, who did nothing, where his boy that bailed him out against me, Dearness, got a touchdown. So I'm surprised he didn't start Dearness again, even though Chubb was back. They like to use two running backs in Cleveland, so I was surprised he didn't use him. But other than that, Ernie's team just did shit. Mike Williams has cooled off tremendously. Here's another guy like Cheese's DJ Moore that might have missed the sell time on Mike Williams. He could have dished him off to Zombie or to someone else for quite a bit of profit, and now we'll see if he rebounds after a couple shitty games. But anyways, looking at the standings, just to sum up the week before we get into the upcoming week, Hunter, like we said, at 7-1 on top of the pack, 100% chance to make the playoffs according to ESPN. I disagree with that. Hunter could go on a major losing streak and still miss it. He's not locked up a spot, so I don't know why it's 100%. Bill, though, 8-2. Then me and Zombie both at 5-3, 2 games back of first. Then we have Matt at 4-4, so in the playoffs now after that big win last week against Zach. Pussy at 4-4 as well. And the final playoff spot, if the playoffs started this week, would go to Ernie on points for at 4-4. We have Tyler at 4-4. Then we have Pook, Zach, Cheese, and Slaps all behind. So basically, if you think about it, Slaps right now is only 3 games out of a possible playoff spot. Maybe 4 games, because if he was 4-4, his points for are the lowest, so he wouldn't have the tiebreaker over these 4-4s. So maybe he's like 4 games, but he's still in it, believe it or not, at 1-7. So those are what we think for the playoffs. Reminder: next week, you guys can start thinking about this week as you watch the matchups. Next week on the fantasy show, you will get a chance to revise your playoff rankings for the league and your playoff rankings for the NFL season, as we will hit the halfway point of the NFL season next week. So on next week's show, you will get to revise one person from the playoffs that you had making the playoffs. You will get to take one person out and add one person in that you did not have in your rankings, as well as get to relocate all the seeds however you would like to relocate them. So each seed you get correctly is points, and each person you get correctly is points. So it's important that you seed them right and get the right people. So you'll get to change those. I will have those up next week on the show so you can see them and revise them, but you can start thinking about that as you look at the standings. All right, moving on to this upcoming week. We will start with my matchup against Matt and his dad that he's in honor of. Hopefully,
Can we just
we
get
can
a
have another
can we
one.
get a round of applause for that?
For what?
I would
His-
like a round of applause for that.
for Matt getting that win last week for his dad?
You're the
or-
biggest
No,
fan
for his
here.
dad. Yeah, for his
for his
dad.
dad. Okay. All right. Well, that's very interesting coming from you, considering you looked up his dad's
No,
grave
it's
and put it
not.
in the
It's not.
chats.
And
And
it's
put
not.
a picture of it in the
Audience,
chat.
audience, I would never do such a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, sure you wouldn't.
So,
UFFF.
just-
Yeah.
Just
All right. Well, right
continue
now,
on.
according to ESPN, Matt's getting a big win, 117 to 96. My point total, according to ESPN, is a little messed up as ESPN currently right now has Clyde Edwards-Helaire and my boy McCaffrey both playing and coming back from injury. So if they do both come back, then they will go in, but they have the backups both with lower points because they think for some reason they're both going to play. But we'll see. But regardless, I have Matthew Stafford against Tennessee, either Hubbard or McCaffrey. I don't know. Hopefully Hubbard just plays and they sit McCaffrey out one more week because I feel like they're still trying to rush him back. Daryl Williams or Allaire against Green Bay. CD Lamb against Denver. Denver just shipped out a bunch of the defense, so we'll see what happens with that. Devontae Smith against the Chargers. I don't like that matchup, but I don't really have a choice as DK is on bye. Mark Andrews, newly acquired last week as he was on bye, comes back, now plays Minnesota. Allen Robinson against Pittsburgh on Monday night. We'll see if he can try to get me 10 points. That's all I'm asking for with DK on bye. And the Bills defense against Jacksonville, I like that a lot. On Matt's side, he has Lamar Jackson coming off bye against Minnesota. So hopefully Lamar's throwing the touchdown passes to Andrews. Eckler after his huge game against the Eagles. Javonte Williams against Dallas. Amari Cooper against Denver. Michael Pittman against the Jets could be very good off his huge game. Cook against Philly. Darnell Mooney against Pittsburgh on Monday night, and the Patriots against Carolina, whose offense has been struggling. He also has some bye issues as well, as he has Gibson on bye, Mike Evans on bye, Gronk on bye. So he does have bye issues as well as me with the DK. I think pulling out a slim victory would be a huge win for me. We'll see. I'm going to need some of Matt's players to have a bad game. I don't know if it will happen. Hopefully, my running back situation will level out. Maybe I get like McCaffrey back or Lair, one of them. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to pick myself, obviously, because it's myself, but I'm not feeling too confident about it as Matt's team had a good week last week and is looking pretty decent. But maybe I can pull out a slim one. Maybe he has some people underperform. Zach, who's winning this matchup?
Die.
A tie. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Slaps.
I think that you will win this offer.
You think I will win it? Really?
Actually, no, I think Matt will win it.
You think Matt will win it? Okay. Cheese.
It's probably gonna be close. Even if you get CMC back, they're probably not gonna like spam him every play like they
Yeah.
did.
Yep. Well, I would hope they
I
wouldn't
think it'd
because I don't
be-
want them re-injuring him. But
Yeah, I think it'll be very, very close. It could go either way, to be
Okay.
honest. I'm gonna go golfer.
So tie.
oh,
I'm not
okay.
picking a tie, Zach. Ties never happen. Has there ever been a tie in the
Almost
history of the league?
happened
No,
last
there
week.
has not. There has not been a
It
tie.
almost
There's never.
happened
How many
last
years?
week.
How many matchups has there been no ties? Like over 100 at this point?
Jeez, shut the fuck up.
No, not 100. Well, we've been playing for
Yeah,
a
but
long
they
time.
changed the
Just
scoring
a-
like I think like
Yeah,
last
with
year
the
or 2 years
quarterback
ago.
points that they get, it's very hard to get a
Just
tie.
Penny's only
Pussy.
needed like 18 yards to
Yeah,
be a
and he
tie.
didn't even get you
Matt is
that.
gonna get another win for his dad,
Okay.
and
Wow.
that's gonna
Whoa.
be it.
Wow. Okay. Does he play? Did you play Matt already this year, Pussy?
I'm unsure.
Hopefully not, because
Yes,
that
he
way he could
was.
just keep this name all the way from Zach to me to then you. That would be kind of cool. Zombie.
I think it's gonna be close, but I have no faith in your wide receivers doing
Yep.
much.
Okay.
Robinson and
Yep.
Devonta Smith.
hmm
Devonta shit.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has not been doing good, and he's
yeah.
playing the Chargers, which is not good matchup. But maybe
So
maybe it's one of those where he hasn't done good for a while, so he booms. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm gonna go with Matt.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Matt.
Moving on to the next matchup, we have a giant battle of 3 and 5 versus 2 and 6. This one is a huge important game for the standings as well as playoff chances. Pook versus Cheese. Pook right now predicted for a pretty sizable win.
Well, Saquon
But you have
Barkley predicted for
Saquon
0
Art.
points.
Okay, so yeah, so with Saquon in there, it's a lot closer. What, probably about a 5 to 10 point margin with Saquon in there. But Pook has Jalen Hurts against the Chargers, Kamara against Atlanta. We'll see if Taysom Hill plays, then we'll see how that affects Kamara. That could be a question mark there. Michael Carter, who had a huge game last week against the Colts. He has Swift on a bye, so that's big for him that he can slide Carter in there. We'll see if he bounces or has another huge game like he did last week, follows it up. Judy against the Cowboys. Denver is obviously with those trades looking full rebuild, so I don't know what to expect from the whole Denver team, including the offense, as Judy just did mediocre last week after coming back from injury. So we'll see what happens. Waddle against Houston, I like that. Kelsey against Green Bay, we'll see if Kelsey bounces back. Ayuk in the flex against Arizona. Ayuk getting a little more involved, but still don't know what to think about him, especially against Arizona. And the Saints defense against Atlanta, all right? On Cheese's side, he has Patrick Mahomes against Green Bay. What kind of Mahomes are we getting? That is the question. Aaron Jones against Kansas City. If Saquon plays against the Raiders, if he doesn't, then he's got Booker against the Raiders. DJ Moore against the Patriots. Claypool against the Bears. Hunter Henry against the Panthers. Jamison Crowder in the flex against the Colts. And the Browns defense against Cincinnati. Interesting.
I'm trying to change that.
Okay, he's trying to change it. And he's got Hawkinson on bye, so that's why he's got Hunter Henry in there. And we'll see. Let's see. He's got Tony questionable. We'll see if he does any trades. But this is a tough one. I think these records are close for a reason because I think both these teams are close. I mean, Pook has some players that could boom on his team, like Kelsey and Kamara. But he also has players that are question marks, and those guys that could boom haven't been booming lately. Where on Cheese's side, he just needs to get some consistent wide receiver play, and I think he'll be all right. Do I think he gets it? I think he gets just enough, and I think he wins against Pook in a very close. I think a 6-game win streak or losing streak comes to an end, and puts him to 3 and 6. But I think it will be a very close game. Zach.
Pook, easy one, annihilation, obliteration.
Wow, Pook easy
Castration.
win. Okay.
Like what happened to you last week?
Wow. Ooh.
No, I lost by 1 point.
Yeah, that was not easy. That was very close.
Yeah, Scary Terry was.
It is kind of ironic. Let's see. If you take Pook's record at 3 and 5 and switch it around, it's 5 and 3. That's what the vote that Cheese had today was at before he canceled it. Is that like an omen? We'll see.
Just so you know,
Slaps.
I'm going Pook, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, going Pook. Let's see, Pussy.
I'm gonna take Pook. Cheese, you need to
Pook,
make
wow.
a trade with me if you want to win this week.
I'm not gonna play Aaron Jones.
with you. Okay.
If you're fire sailing Aaron Jones, hit me up.
Zombie.
I'm going with my boy Cheese. Fucking. Hopefully
Wow.
you beat Pook's bitch ass.
Oh.
You should.
So
have
is it
an
more of a
extra
hope, or
loss.
you actually think he's going to beat Pook?
No, I think he'll win.
Okay.
And Pook should have an extra loss. He almost lost to my fucking bench. That was fucking
Okay,
embarrassing.
Zombie. Okay, almost doesn't count. Okay, you still have to fucking beat him. He has the win against you. Anyways, all right. And Cheese, are you finally gonna end this 6-game losing streak, or
So in
does
my
go
6-game
to 7
losing
games?
streak, I've gotten absolutely no help because I have not faced a team scoring under 130 points. in
Oh.
6
How many have you scored?
Okay.
Hey, if I had major injuries in 2 games, and then if I
Yeah,
put my
but
bench in,
you
another
just
one, I would've
you just
scored
put
on.
the guy who scored.
Okay, so
60 points
having
the
so
other
wait,
day.
so
Look,
having
Look, all
said
I'm
that,
saying is I've been
listen,
having
I
no
get
luck.
what you're saying. You
I'm just
you
saying
you wish you
nothing's
had a
been
little
helping me
luck
at
to
all.
win, like
Nothing's
last
been
week
helping me
with
at all.
Slaps getting 106
Get
to
good.
101. I get that. So
Nothing's
my
been helping
question
me at
is,
all.
are you going to
Okay,
score
here's what I'm
that
gonna
amount
say.
of points and just hope to
Here's what
get
I'm gonna
lucky,
say.
or is your team actually going to perform?
I think I have to get lucky at some point. Okay.
Okay.
If not, I also have the highest points against the league, which
Oh,
is whatever.
okay.
You
don't
but
you don't get
Go
any
cry in a
brownie.
fucking
You don't
corner.
get any
Go cry in
wins
a
for
fucking
that.
corner.
all right. Mahomes, I think will bounce back.
Okay.
Unless if he doesn't bounce back, there's no chance for anything.
Okay.
So it's just I'm seeing.
Is Mahomes on the block?
Ooh.
No. I'm not telling everybody their low values just so you can
Okay.
help your playoff
Smart.
teams.
cry
I
in
like
fucking
that answer,
corner.
Cheese. That is a good
So who
answer.
are you trying to sell? Because your team is
I don't think
trash.
I'm trying to sell everybody. I think I need to upgrade at wide receiver somehow, and there's no way for me to conceivably do
Okay,
it.
I can help you out. Hit me up from
You're not trading
Mahomes.
Scary Terry, are you?
No.
Then go fuck yourself.
Good one,
That's who
Cheese.
you want.
Good one. Good one. I
Yes,
like
I've been
that
asking
answer.
for him for literally all
Now,
year.
Cheese, that whole
Look.
conversation right there, if you would have took that type of energy to Bill when he was trying to trade rape you earlier, then you wouldn't have got into
Here's
that
what I'm gonna
situation.
say, okay, like last week, it was an improvement. Okay, it was an improvement,
Okay.
which is
Man,
it's not.
how
It's
far
not,
we've come. We were
yeah,
2
how
and
far
0
we've
at the
fallen.
top of the mountain, and now we're just looking for small improvements when we score barely over
look,
100
Remember when
points.
Cheese was 2-0 and had the best
I
team?
That's
know,
what
he
I'm
was so
saying.
good.
When he was 2 and 0 and his team was perfect. Now we're just
And
looking
we
for
were all
now a
saying there's
100-point
no
week
way.
is a small is an
Okay, I'm gonna say
improvement.
I've been running out basically the same team. Okay, like even if I
Yeah,
had Diggs,
well,
I wouldn't have won a single matchup.
that leads me back to
Like
the
I haven't.
problem.
No one can say I ruined my team with trades.
That is true. That is true. But you almost did today. But
Well, I didn't.
That's
So
what
I don't know.
Slaps did.
yeah.
Okay, Aaron Jones is gonna pop off because he's the only non-COVID player in Green Bay apparently.
Okay, yeah. I do think
Mahomes-
he'll get an uptick. He's playing Kansas City, who's not great, and no Rodgers, so I'm sure they're going to
They'll
want to
just
run the ball.
farm him. If Saquon doesn't play, Booker's been pretty good. I'm not worried.
The only thing I'll say with Aaron Jones is you better hope they don't
You
farm
know what,
AJ
Cheese?
Dillon again like they did.
Well,
Cheese, you
usually
can
they
hit
get
me up for
usually
Scary
they get
Terry if
Jones like
Jones is
20, and then they
involved,
farm
okay?
Dillon, so it's fine.
Oh, what was that, Zach?
I said you can hit me up for Scary Terry if Jones is involved.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
good try.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And have a nice
I just
night.
need my wide receivers to do literally just get 15 points
Okay.
apiece, and we're in business.
That's
they've
a
been
lot
so
for them.
underperforming.
Well, looking at your wide receiver matchups, they aren't great. You got the Patriots, who usually
Well, I like
contain
Claypool's
offenses.
matchup. Chicago is atrocious.
Stephon
I
Gilmore.
mean, Chicago is not as great on defense as they are normally, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's spectacular.
Hunter Henry has been generally a good.
Well,
good
no, I'm talking about
villain.
wide
I'm
receivers.
okay with that. I know. I'm
mean,
saying
Crowder
general.
could do decent, maybe, but it all
Listen.
depends
Well,
on what Mike White
It's
does.
either
The loser-
Crowder or Gaskin.
Uh,
'Cause it's Gaskin versus
Listen, the
Houston.
loser of this game is headed to the beach.
Really?
It's just
Okay,
true.
Zombie. So you're
He's not wrong.
proclaiming the loser of this matchup goes to the beach, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Are you
Surprisingly,
proclaiming?
one
Are
of
you
my,
proclaiming that I'm already on the beach, or?
Yeah.
No,
you're
you-
like
you
you
still
just
have a
pulled up.
chance.
You
You were
just
on
pulled
the
up.
beach a long
Slap
time.
No,
still
he's
has
on
a
the
chance. Wow.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say that
Oh, he
Yeah,
does
Slaps,
not have a fucking chance.
Slaps has
Slaps
arrived
plays-
at the beach
Slaps
in his
plays
car. He can
Ernie,
still turn the car
Tyler.
around, but he arrived.
Okay. Okay.
Slaps plays
Slaps has
Ernie,
a
Okay, so
Tyler,
besides Zombie, does
Matt.
anybody think Slap still has a chance to make the playoffs?
Slaps is
Reminder,
sitting on
he's
the beach
only
chair
3
on
games
the
out of a
sand
playoff
right now.
spot right
Look,
now.
Hey,
here's
you
what
still
I'm gonna
got
say.
Ernie, Tyler, Matt, Cheese, and Zach,
Ooh, okay.
and me.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I lost 6 in a row. Anybody can just go on a massive losing
That
streak.
is
It can
true.
happen.
That is true.
And Slaps has made his team stronger, but will be too little, too late.
Okay.
He scored
basically can't.
106 points.
He basically
From his
can't
team.
afford to
Yes,
lose more than
one-
one game. The rest of the.
That
rest
is true.
Of,
He
right?
has completely
He
lost
can't
all
really-
his wiggle room
Like
because
he literally,
if
can have
he
maybe
loses-
one more loss, and that's
if
it.
he
That's it.
loses one more, because there is 14 weeks, so there's 5 weeks or 6 weeks remaining. So if he could go 7-7 is his best remaining record. So I think he's got to go that. I don't know if maybe with the 7th spot maybe he gets lucky and 6-8 makes it, but I don't think so the way the standings
6 and 8.
look.
If he was like super high scoring and got his points lead back.
Yeah, but
or
that's
something
his
like
problem. He's not. So
That. Like if his team
Yeah, I
popped
got
off
the
points
first
wise.
start
Yeah.
season.
okay, well interesting.
All right,
right,
I'm gonna
so
pick.
you're gonna
I'm
say
gonna
you're
pick
winning or not?
myself, but if I lose, I'm just fighting not to be in last.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
Okay.
I have to get lucky at some point. I would think.
Okay. All right, we'll see. Well, you've been saying that for weeks now that your players
And it
got to
hasn't been
break out for
happening.
touchdowns and
No, I'm saying
And they don't
I have to
happen,
face
so.
someone who scores
oh,
like 60
okay.
points, like last week.
All right, well just don't score 59 if you score 6 if you face someone who scores 6.
I would never score that low.
Oh, okay. All right, you all heard that. All right, moving on to the next matchup. Another huge one, Pussy versus Hunter. Hunter 7-1, Pussy 4-4 after that devastating loss last week to Slaps. Will he pick up another devastating one, as Pussy has definitely talked his shit to Hunter this year? Will Hunter move to 8-1 and basically lock up playoff spot? and look very good for that number 1 seed, which gets the only bye this year. That's another thing we'll have to start looking at is who's going to get that number 1 seed. Right now, Hunter in the driver's seat. Pussy projected to win by about a point, 117 to 116. He has Kirk Cousins again in there against Baltimore. I don't know about that. Nick Chubb against Cincinnati. Damian Harris against Carolina, who we newly acquired. Keenan Allen against
Can
the
you
Eagles.
refresh, please?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Let's see.
Oh
This-
my god, dude, you're so cringe.
I thought he was gonna put a.
This
I
is
thought he was
for
gonna
you,
put the
Dan.
Imgur link to
Okay.
the pick of the grave. I
That's
really
so.
thought he was gonna do the Imgur link to the
Jesus,
pick of the grave.
Pusa.
So you're saying, is your dad dead or?
No, my dad's alive.
Oh,
How
so,
old
so
is he?
Oh
you're
This
just
one's
my
dedicating.
god, dude.
Okay, that's kind of an L.
Okay,
You
dude.
you tried to steal Matt's thunder. That's, I don't know about that. All right, well, anyways, Kirk Cousins, and you like that against Baltimore. I don't know about that. Nick Chubb against Cincinnati, Damian Harris against Carolina, Keenan Allen against the Eagles, Deontay Johnson against Chicago, Dallas Goedert against the Chargers, DeAndre Hopkins, who's questionable against the 49ers. Kyler Murray, I believe, is also questionable, so we'll see what happens with those injuries. Rams against the Titans, now without Henry, so we'll see what happens to that now that they've acquired Von Miller. On Hunter's side, he has Dak Prescott. If he plays against Denver, should be decent. Najee Harris against Chicago. Oh, that's why Hunter's projected to lose. He doesn't have a tight end. And does he not
You
have
were
a
checking for 116 with that tight end.
He does.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, because Fanta's out, so he's gonna have to what? Pick up a tight? Oh no, he's got Johnu.
Johnny's
So-
questionable though.
Yeah. So we'll see if he plays him. He might have to pick up another tight end. So actually, he's projected to win if he puts in a tight end. Then Boston Scott, newly acquired against the Chargers. Tyreek Hill against Green Bay. T. Higgins against Cleveland. Marquise Hollywood Brown against Minnesota. And the Raiders defense against those dreadful Giants offense. He's got Godwin on bye. Who was his second running back? Oh, Fournette, who's on bye. So that's why he's got Boston Scott in there, and that's why he paid the cash for him. Decent move by Hunter. I think Pussy wins the matchup. I kind of hope Hunter wins just because it'd be funny to see Pussy lose to Hunter after all the shit he's talked. But I think for this week with the bye issues and the tight end issues that Hunter has and the Dak question mark, I think Pussy's team is better this week. He's got all his star wide receivers in there. He's got Chubb in there. I like his trade for Harris. The only thing I don't like is his quarterback, but I think he overcomes that, and I think he gets the win. Zach?
It's Pusa and Bill.
No, it's Pussy and Hunter.
Oh, Pusa.
Okay.
Easy. My boy Pusa. You got this.
Okay. Slaps. Is Slaps back?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am going to go with. Damn, that's a tough one. I'm actually going to go Hunter.
Wow. Okay. Cheese.
Hunter is literally never losing again.
Never
Uh,
losing again. So he's going 13-1.
I'm
So
kind
his team is
I'm kind of on the Pusa train. If he's someone who's monitoring his team at all times, he always makes every change necessary.
Hold on.
Does
I want
Follow
to
that
clarify
every
ass.
this.
injury.
I would like to clarify this for a second.
What?
I've been in this league how long, Golfer? 3-4 years?
Ever since I've been in, because you were in before me, so yeah.
This is my first year I'm using this cheese. And,
Oh,
and I mean,
okay.
and my response to that would be that the only reason I'm using it is because I'm majoring in the data perspective of it.
I mean, I would
But
say
surely-
I would say
surely-
the only reason you're using it is because you did shit in both
Now, I
leagues
will
last
say I
year, so
have
you need
made-
some help.
I've made one
That's-
trade that was an L, and that was
Okay.
a 2% L,
Okay.
and I should have listened to it. It was
Oh,
Derrick Henry, me getting Derrick Henry from Zach.
really? They called that an L?
2% L because I was
In
trading
fair- in
Calvin
He's
fairness,
Ridley.
popped off and
in
won you
fair- in
match.
fairness,
What?
you did say that that wasn't an L for you
What?
when he was popping off. You
No,
were
no,
saying
no,
that's
no,
an L
no.
now that he's injured.
I can.
It's an
rest
L
assured that was
now.
the
It's
one.
it's an L now, but I wouldn't have called that an L at the
No.
time you made the trade when the data. So
I
the
was
data was saying
because
that's a,
I was giving away.
You didn't.
you might want to
didn't.
ask
Yes,
for
I
your
did.
money
Yes,
back.
I did.
No,
You
no,
might
you
want to
didn't.
ask for
You
your money
That's
back
the
on
one
those
trade.
stats.
You 100% because this happened about 2 weeks ago when you talked about this as well. You
You're talking about when he traded him
specifically
away or
said
when he
you
traded him
specifically
back?
said
He's
that
talking
that
about
was
at
the
the
only trade-
beginning of the year when he traded for Henry from
This-
Zach,
no,
aren't you?
If you would have read what I said slaps. I said that was the most beneficial trade that I'm gonna have this year, and it was the one trade that Dana told me to not do it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you
about
should've
So that's why
about
you don't
two
always
about
trust
2 or
the
3
data, I guess,
but what I'm
because it
saying
did help you
is
win some
about
games.
Yeah, that's
two
what I'm
two or
saying. Like
3
I
weeks
should have
ago.
just.
2 or 3 weeks ago, you said that trade, even though the numbers said it wasn't in your favor, that was a win for you because I can't remember who you got rid of, but the players
The
you
only
got
Well,
thing
rid
I
it
of.
will
was.
hold on. The only
That
thing I
was a
will say
win
is
until
last
now.
week or 2 weeks ago, we were ripping Zach pretty heavy for trading Derrick Henry when he was popping off for 20 and 30-point
Yeah,
games
Thank
each
exactly.
week.
God I don't have to listen
And
to that anymore.
now, hindsight now, looking at how it's gone this season for Henry, now that
Thank
he's hurt for
God.
the rest of the year, I mean, it does. I mean, although Zach does have a worse record than Pussy, so maybe if Zach had Henry, he'd have a better record at this point. And now without Henry,
Honestly,
maybe
it's
it
But
goes
it's
I
down.
mean,
only
I'm
a
not gonna
1 point
stand for the
difference, and we'd
people
be the
that
same
say
record.
that I'm just living off my trade evaluator because I mean,
Okay.
then
Well, I
don't
don't
make
think
any
that.
trades
Maybe
with me.
some other people do, but I don't think that.
I mean, it's just.
I think you're on that thing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on this ESPN app.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's
Where
better
were
than fucking
Cheese? Okay,
filing
let Cheese
fucking
finish.
some broke
You'll have
ass
your
Alright.
social
moment in a
security
second.
and
You'll have your
Hunter has
Your
moment in a
cart
second.
pay.
Hunter has made every correct move. He's made good
Okay.
waiver wire pickups.
Yeah.
He subs correctly.
Okay.
Every player he
It's
picked
hard
up
to
who
make a
we
bad move when you're not here.
every move.
Mhm.
You're not wrong. Every player he picked up has been popping off.
Uh-huh.
Najee is like a god now apparently.
Uh-huh. Okay.
He's gotten Mark Hollywood Brown is gone for regrets not picking him this year.
Yep. I gave up on
he,
him 1 year too early. I stuck in there with Hollywood for fucking 2 years, and he let me down both years. That
everything's
fucking
been going
bitch.
his way. It's not going to stop going this way.
Okay. Wow. All right. Interesting.
Unless he shows up.
Zombie.
Well, he's definitely not going to show up.
Yeah, he's not going to show up. Why would he show up when he's 7-1? I mean, you think
Mm.
he would to talk shit, but he doesn't. So he's just going to keep going. Zombie.
Listen, I need Pusa to fucking win. Do I have faith in him doing it? Hell fucking no. But look,
Whoa.
I gotta go with what I need to happen, so I'm gonna go with
okay.
Pusa.
All right. So Zombie wants Pussy to win, but
No,
doesn't think
we need Hunter to win so the lower seeds can have a better
No,
chance.
bitch.
Well,
I want
Zombie,
my
no,
ride,
Zombie
dumb
is
fuck.
Zombie's not in your situation, Cheese. Zombie is in the playoffs at the moment. He's trying to
Yeah,
get the number
Zombie's
one
not broke
seed.
like you.
Yeah, he's not worried about the 4-4 guys. He's trying to get that top spot.
No,
So he
we need
needs
Hunter to
losses
run the
from
record
Hunter.
up. We need Hunter to run the record
Yeah,
up.
well, you do, but not some of the other people. All right, interesting. All right, Pussy. So are you gonna pull this win off on against Hunter? Or are you gonna pull out another week like last week and lose to a guy that you say is shit?
I don't know if I'll be here if I don't win this game. So I'm gonna
Oh
just
my God.
If
for
you
the
lose, it'll
audience
be
out
3 in
there.
a row.
For the audience out there, if I'm not here next week, you know why, and you know where I am.
Okay. All right. Well,
What
hopefully
audience are you
you go to
talking about?
heaven and not hell.
It's just
That's,
Bill.
yeah, that it's just
I
Bill.
don't know. You know the amount of words
Based
I've
on the
said
things you've
that
done,
I've
yeah,
done, Matt.
yeah, you might be going to hell based on all that.
Yep.
Mhm. All right. All right, moving on to the next matchup, we have Zach versus Zombie. And there was already a major statement by Zombie made earlier this week that we will bring up in a sec. But at the moment, 5-3 versus 3-5. This is a pretty huge game for Zach. If he wants to stay in that mix right by those 4-4 guys, he needs to win this week. Currently projected by ESPN to lose 112 to 132. So 20-point victory for Zombie. Zach has Tua Tagovailoa against Houston. It's a good matchup. So as long as he plays, should be decent. Edmonds against the 49ers. Mixon against Cleveland. Thielen against Baltimore. Debo Samuel, who's been a beast against Arizona. Gesicki against Houston, so he might get the double points from Tua to Gesicki. And Elijah Mitchell. Finally, an Elijah Mitchell sighting this past week. Looked
He played
good.
2
And
weeks ago for me.
yeah, 2 weeks ago. So we'll see if he can continue it going against Arizona. And the Dolphins defense against Houston. And what, do you not have a kicker?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, well then he'll pick up a kicker at some point.
Will I pick up a kicker? Will I
yeah.
trade for a kicker?
Oh, you're going to trade for a kicker. Oh, well, that would be definitely interesting if you trade for a fucking
Jack
kicker.
Yams.
A
Yeah.
freaking kicker. All right, on Zombie side, he has Josh Allen against Jacksonville. Oh, Zach is going to be sweating that game because Josh Allen could absolutely go off. That is
Is
a
it a
great
Monday night
matchup.
game?
It's not a Monday night game,
Then
but
I don't care.
it's
Let
a
him go
great
off.
matchup against
It's
Jacksonville. He
okay.
could go
As
off
long
for
as it's
30
not Monday
points.
night, I don't
Okay,
care.
all right. Dalvin Cook against Baltimore. Welcome to the Monday Night Depression Club, Zach. Now you
Yeah.
know why I worry about Monday nights so much when my matchups happen. Welcome to the club. Khalil Herbert against Pittsburgh. Stephon Diggs against Jacksonville. So he's got the Allen to Diggs
That's a
connection.
Monday night game.
Oh my God. And then Jamar
Oh
Chase.
my god.
Jamar Chase against Cleveland. Tommy Sweeney with Dawson Knox hurt, so he's sticking with that
Oh,
Buffalo
no.
stack against Jacksonville. A.J. Brown against the Rams could be
Sunday
difficult.
night, almost
And
as bad.
Cardinals against the 49ers. And all right, so I mean, I think based just off the Buffalo Jacksonville matchup and Zombie having two of the best Buffalo players on the team, I think I have to pick Zombie just off of that. Although I do think it will be a lot closer than 15, 20, whatever ESPN has it projected at. But I still think Zombie will pick up the win based off of some of his matchups. Slaps.
I am going to go with Zombie.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah, me and Zach are in the same record next week. So
Ooh.
figure it
Whoa,
out.
what did he say?
He said
Did
you're
he
gonna have
say-
the same record next week at 3 and
Did anybody
6.
else hear that?
Yeah, we just heard it.
Yeah, Zach, you're gonna
Oh, I
put
thought
an
he said
invalid lineup out
4-0.
when half your team doesn't play.
Oh,
What?
you do have a lot of question marks, but I don't think any of them are serious question marks. I think they're just Wednesday
Look,
question
Get over
marks.
yourself.
Zombie somehow got a free number one running back with Khalil. He got.
Okay, we need to hear. Go
He was
fucking
gifted
cry.
Jamar
Just
Chase.
next,
You know,
next.
Zombie's gonna take Zach behind the shed. Okay.
Ooh, okay. But for our behind the shed
Honestly-
reference, okay. Pussy.
First, I would like to say that Zombie's going to win this game, and second, I would like to comment on both the teams.
Okay.
First, I'll comment on Zombies. I want everybody in this party, the audience,
Yep.
the rest of the league, to look at that roster.
Okay.
Every player on that roster will not be traded from here on out. Just to let everybody know. So let's just let it sink in. Just the realization that we are not going to have any of those players on our roster for the rest of
Okay.
the
So
season.
you're saying Zombie's team is perfect and he will not trade anybody.
No, I am saying that he is a stingy bastard,
Ooh.
and he will not trade any of them for any amount of
Wow.
price.
I almost batted my
Second,
team.
I would comment on Zach's team.
Okay.
Zach, I would get the lawn chair out. I don't know if they have beaches in Maryland, but I would get a pack of high noons and call it a day.
Yep, and I'll see you there, pussy. I'll put a chair out just for you right now today.
Okay. I
Think
mean,
you
he is
can
only
sit
one
under the
game
tent, I'll
behind
set
you,
a tent
pussy.
up for us
That's
since we were
funny as
both
hell.
He is only
players
one game.
together.
That is
Okay,
Fine,
so
that's-
Zombie is winning then, correct?
Zombie is winning.
Okay, all right. Zombie, first of all, you're getting comments to Pussy saying your team is basically you're not trading a single soul on it and you're stingy.
I just traded with him yesterday.
Mm.
The fuck
That
is he
is true.
talking about? Listen, Poos is just in depression because his boy Henry
Rest in peace.
fucking yeah.
I had this league wrapped
But-
up. If I didn't, that fucker didn't get
No,
hurt.
you fucking didn't.
No, you didn't. Shut up.
I did too.
No, you
I
did
did
not.
too.
Okay, listen. If your one running back, your RB1 goes down, and that makes it from not having it wrapped up to 4 and 4, and maybe not even making the playoffs, then you didn't have it wrapped up.
Week. I had this league
Okay,
wrapped up in a
okay.
fucking bag.
Okay.
Look, I am very worried about playing Ken Mike this week. You know, Zach's been looking forward to this since week 1, saying he will be back for week 7. So
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be tough. Hopefully,
Okay.
he doesn't put up that many points.
Uh,
But
I could tell you how many points he'll put up.
yeah, everyone want to predict. Let's predict how many points Michael Thomas will have this week. Slaps, how many?
Can I
is
go
he gonna
first?
have?
No, can I go
I'm
first?
gonna go with Big Fat Donut.
Donut. Cheese.
50.
He's gonna get as many points as I'm gonna get.
Oh, okay.
So less than 100.
Yeah,
90,
I
maybe.
think he's gonna get 0 points, and Zach's lucky that he doesn't get negative, like with a fumble or something. So 0 points for Michael Thomas. All right, Zombie. So you're taking him behind the shed or
it-
what?
This is a Charles Barkley
Guaranteeing
guarantee.
yourself. Wow.
I
All
am
right, first
pulling-
time.
I am gonna pull a rugs and kill Zach's fantasy.
Whoa!
Oh my God, it might be a little too soon for those jokes, but that was a good one. Oh my God.
Gee whiz.
His playoff chances are dead.
0 to
Oh my
154 real quick.
It would be how fast was he going? 100 and what? 57.
154.
It would be kind of ironic if you score 156 points this week.
Wait.
No way.
Truly
No
wanted-
shot. No shot.
If
No,
Zombie,
no
if Zombie
shot.
truly wanted to ego Zach, he would start Ruggs in his flex just to ego him.
Oh, yeah, zombie.
He won't though.
Okay,
Oh.
jeez, I'm trying to win here. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'll
But
start.
if
All right,
you put
Zach.
I'll start Mike.
All right,
start
if he
Mike.
starts Mike, I'll start Ruggs.
Oh, so do we have a
But
deal?
I don't think he will. So.
Okay.
But imagine if you started Ruggs and you still won.
If you start Ruggs, I will start Mike.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, listen, if you guys want to come to an agreement right now on the live show of that, then I will make sure if one of you pulls a dirty fast one and switches them out right before game time, that I will go in and pull the God powers and put them back in if you would like to come to that
I
agreement.
agree, zombie.
Okay. Zombie?
So the.
You,
I'm
you
down.
gonna put,
So
he's
the-
down?
Oh, he's down.
All right.
No.
So you guys have an
Let's-
agreement on this?
I don't know, but it'd be
Go.
funnier if I got 156 with my whole team.
That would
Zombie.
be.
kind of.
Put your Ruggs boy in. I'll put my King Guard Mike in.
Is that an
No,
agreement?
no.
All right. Well,
Mm,
you guys can let me know if you're actually going to agree on that.
No,
and we'll-
this is a live discussion.
Okay, zombie. Zach sounds like he's all in. It's just a matter of if you're all in.
I'm in. I
Because
just
Zach-
know Zach's gonna try and pull some
no.
shit.
He
I'm
won't
not
be
the-
able to. I just told you.
No.
I
No
will
God
go in
mode.
and
No.
God
mode.
mode it back if he does.
We're
All
putting
right,
him in our
deal.
flex.
Okay,
right?
yes, it's in your flex or what do you? Yeah,
my
in your
flex.
flex.
Oh,
All right,
no.
Wow.
let's go.
All right, so
Wow.
Zombie is that confident that he's going to take out one of his star wide receivers for.
Zach
for
might actually have a chance
Henry
to get a win this
Ruggs.
week with that.
Oh, so anyone want to change their change
Mike
their
is
vote?
now in my flex. Mike
Okay.
is now in my flex.
Okay.
I
Uh,
still see
everyone's
that
still
Mike
taking
Thomas will
Zombie?
have, the amount Bitcoin will be in 10 years. So
If
Oh.
Ruggs somehow gets out on bail and signs with another team, I'll have to.
Then you're just screwed, Zach, at that point. You're just screwed. All right, Zach. So now with this agreement, are you, going to
know
win?
what? Yeah, 2 minutes ago I was
Uh-huh.
about to say there's no way I'm winning this. I might as
Okay.
well be more dead than that person in the fiery car crash that
Oh,
Ruggs
my
killed.
God.
Whoa!
But now with my
Holy
boy
fuck.
Mike in my starting lineup, there's
Yes.
no freaking way I lose this.
Wow, you're
Mike
gonna do it for
is
Mike,
going
huh?
off. Mike is
Well,
gonna
listen,
do
if
it.
there
I
is a
hope
God in the
Zombie misses
world,
out
you
on
do
a
it for
bye because
you
of
do it.
points scored.
Whoa! I received a trade offer.
Okay.
Whoa!
Okay. Well, just don't decline it after 5 approves.
I hope
Jeez.
Zombie misses out on a playoff spot. because of
Okay.
points
All
scored.
right. Well, he's definitely taking a risk, but he's very confident in beating Zach's team. So, all right. Well, we have that agreement live on the stream. Both have agreed they are going to play.
Mike is
Zach's going to
already in
play
my
Michael
lineup.
Thomas in the flex, and Zombie's going to play the killer Henry Ruggs in the flex. And we'll
I
see
hope this
we'll
has
see if the God prevails of
implications.
Michael Thomas or the Henry Ruggs
I
kills
hope
Uh,
Zombie gets
Zach's
fucked in the
chances.
playoffs, loses.
God
and
mode,
if he would have
God
done
mode.
something,
I don't see Ruggs in his flex. So
It
that's
will
the
be
holdup.
by the end of the week. Don't worry. He just agreed to it. Put it in, Zombie. If you don't, I'll switch it. So, because you both agreed, I don't
Oh,
want
you already
any.
changed it?
I don't want any bitching from either of you because you both just agreed and you both are good. So no changing later on.
There will be no
So,
bitching.
Okay. Moving on to the next matchup, we have Ernie versus Slaps. Slaps got his big win last week, first of the year. Can he stack back-to-backs against Ernie's team, who has been
Hell
very
yeah.
inconsistent? Ernie has Mike White against the Colts, Zeke against Denver, Drake
Mike
against the
Shite.
Giants. I mean, Mike White, he's a gunslinger, apparently. He's out there in the lineup. Kenyon Drake against the Giants, Justin Jefferson against Baltimore, Mike Williams against the Eagles, Pitts against New Orleans, Renfro now looking very good now that Ruggs is out against the Giants, and the Steelers against Chicago. On Slap Society's got Herbert against the Eagles, Patterson against the Saints, Henderson against Tennessee, Cooper Kupp against Tennessee, Devontae Parker against Houston. I like that matchup a lot. Schultz against Denver. Emmanuel 0-point Sanders last week. All he had to do was get one fucking catch, and then I could have made fun of Bill for bitching about that trade. But of course, he got his goose egg as well against Jacksonville, though, so he should get some points this week. Panthers against the Patriots. I think this game is going to be close. I like some of Ernie's players to have bounce back weeks like Williams and Pitts. I like Renfro. I don't know about Mike White. And I think if Herbert starts looking like himself, I think Slaps will win. So I'm going to pick Slaps in a very close one, but I do think it will be close because they both have some question marks. Zach.
Ernie and who?
Slaps.
Jesus. Ernie.
Ernie, okay.
Jesus.
Cheese.
Hmm. Ernie's starting Mike White. Oh. And Kenyon Drake. Oh, no shot. Okay,
I
I'm taking
almost traded
Slaps.
for him earlier.
Taking Slaps.
You're taking Slaps, okay?
Yeah. I'm not taking the team with Kenyon Drake and Mike White.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, I kind of like Mike White, but Kenyon Drake is.
I mean, he did good against me. Pussy.
Audience, if you remember correctly, I said that last week that Slaps' team was a fucking circus.
Yeah, and then you lost to that circus.
And in reality, hold on, in reality, upon looking
Uh-huh.
at Ernie's team, his would be considered a fucking zoo.
Oh,
So
okay.
I will say that
Are you
Slaps
going to the
will
zoo or
win
the
this game.
circus? Okay, so you're going to the
I
circus.
would say that the zoo is worse than going to the circus.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right, Slaps, you gonna stack another win here against Ernie? It's looking decent for you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've already made my point as to why I had made the changes I've made. Cooper
Yep.
Kupp's continuing to be a stud. Daryl Henderson's looking like he'll be a very, very good running back continuing going forward. And I don't like Ernie's team, in all
Okay.
honesty. I
Wow.
think Mike White against the Colts is going to be a shit matchup.
That's a Thursday night game, so I think, isn't
I
it?
think Kenyon Drake isn't going to do much against the Giants. Mike Williams, thankfully, he will have Justin Herbert thrown. So if any touchdowns come to Mike Williams, then at least Herbert gets those points as well. Yeah, I'll win this game.
You're gonna win. Okay. It is interesting. Ernie did predict that Slaps would go like 0-9, and he would be the one to send him to 0-9. So Pussy fucked that up for him last week on that chance to send Slaps to 0-9. So we'll see now if Ernie can pull out the win and at least send him to 1-8 and basically eliminate him and send him to the beach. All right, moving on to the final game of the week. We have Tyler at 4-4 after that dreadful week last week versus Bill at 6-2. Tyler currently projected to lose by about 5 points, 102 to 107, so low scoring at the moment. Tyler has Kyler Murray against the Giants or against the 49ers. As long as Kyler Murray plays, I would expect some type of bounce back from him. Mike Davis again in there now against the Saints. James Robinson is if he plays against Buffalo. I don't like that matchup, and who knows if he plays. Cooks against Miami. Cole Beasley against Jacksonville could be decent. Waller against the Giants. Jacoby Myers against Carolina, and the Chiefs versus Green Bay. On Bill's side, yes.
Please have first say once you've done Bill's side, just after.
Bill has Taysom Hill against Atlanta, Josh Jacobs against the Giants, Taylor against the Jets, so those are good running back matchups. Adams, if he plays against Kansas City with no Aaron Rodgers, who knows? Woods against Tennessee. Kittle. Is Kittle coming back this week against Arizona? If not, then does he have...
He's projected to come off Wednesday.
Okay. Well, he has
Wednesday.
Ertz, so he has Ertz, so we'll see what even if he doesn't play, he's got Ertz. And Zach Moss and his flex against Jacksonville could be a good matchup for him. And Eagles against the Chargers, really. So he's starting the Eagles defense against Chargers. Interesting. I think this will be the lower scoring matchup of the week. I think Tyler will score more than last week, obviously, but he has some question marks on his team as well as some injury concerns. And Bill's side, I like Bill's team overall, but with Aaron Rodgers out, who knows with Adams. So I think Bill gets the win and moves to 7-2, but I think it will be a lower scoring affair between these two. Slaps.
Right, now we've all for a while spoke about how shit my team was, right?
Yes.
But can we all take a second to just look at Tyler's team?
Ooh, okay.
That
Wow.
is a piece of shit.
He has a
Okay.
$55 man.
Oh
What do you
wow.
mean?
Like,
Okay.
That.
Yeah.
That.
Tyler's
absolute-
trades these past
That is
weeks
so bad.
have not worked for him. You know, he made some trades in the beginning of the year and they
That
seemed to be
is-
good.
That
But
is so.
I mean, the James
so
Robinson trade, he's now hurt.
bad.
He's got the Calvin Ridley trade was a huge one, and he's
got
out.
half my
My-
team.
He does have half of your team, and they're all on IR or out. So Zach has raped
Jesus
him
Christ.
many
That
times.
is
And,
really, really bad. That team.
Yeah. Now let's see. All I can say is I can see why Zach pushed for Tyler to come back in this league so hard because he
It's
knew he
so
could, I
bad.
guess, rape him for all these injured players, and that's
Oh
basically
my
what he
Rape
was
is a
doing.
fucking understatement.
Okay. All right. So you're taking Bill, I take it.
Yeah, I'm
then.
taking Bill. too, Sam.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're happy that
Jesus
someone's team
Christ.
is worse than yours. Let's see, Zach.
My boy Bill.
Your boy Bill.
Especially if he would have gotten that trade done earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Jeez.
5-3. Yikes. Unlucky, Bill. Unlucky. So much so he's not even coming to the show now. Unbelievable. All right, Cheese.
Yeah, I mean, I was a believer in Tyler's numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yikes.
I was.
Yikes, the
Kind of like you were a believer in your 2-0
Like weeks ago,
start.
I'm like a couple weeks ago, but like I can't. Bill, Bill 6-2, very solid team.
Mhm.
I think Bill's big issue is obviously the injuries.
Yeah.
Will Kittle even do anything? Will Adams play?
Mhm.
Taysom Hill. I'm still gonna roll with him, but
Okay.
I won't be
Yeah,
surprised.
Tyler's numbers in fantasy this year have kind of worked out like his betting numbers. Started out very good, looked very good on paper. You know, we were all happy, and then it just came crashing
That first few
down
weeks was
hard. That
great.
first few weeks was
And then
great,
the
just like
crash
in the
was
league.
hard and
Tyler was at the
fast.
top of the league, looking very good, and then it's gone crazy
Hard,
downhill
fast,
since.
downhill.
All
Like a
right,
fucking roller coaster
Pussy.
straight down.
Bill.
Bill,
Bill,
okay,
just I mean,
and Zombie.
yeah,
Oh, so go ahead.
it's just an ass beating. I mean, his
Wow.
ass is just taking
Okay.
beating after beating, and I just, oh, jeez.
Okay, interesting. Zombie.
Bro, why can no one beat Bill?
Similar to Ernie's mom.
Pusa, why couldn't you
say.
do the job? You were
Can
supposed
nobody
to be
beat
good
Bill?
at-
Because Bill has a solid team. I think that's why nobody can
Fucking-
beat Bill. He's got a
I
solid
beat Bill.
team. Yeah, he's got a
Bill's
solid
been
team.
saving this shit since last year. That
I'm gonna go
fucking-
with Bill, but someone needs to fucking beat him.
Oh, okay. Another guy
Ain't
ahead
gonna
of
be Tyler.
another guy ahead of Zombie that he wants to lose so he can catch him. I gotcha. I mean,
Actually, I still
do you
play Bill.
do you play Bill?
Zombie, you got
Don't
anybody
play-
that's
Yeah,
coming
still
up, that's got a
play Bill.
buy coming up?
Yeah.
You trade him that.
Oh,
He,
okay.
he likes that.
Okay. All right. So we will see what happens with this week's
I think I
matchups.
already
Good
lost
luck
to Bill, rip.
to everyone on their matchups. A lot of COVID issues this week as well as injury issues. So make sure you pay attention to those as the week moves on.